So wait, can I just confirm this activity? We're listening and we're listening for these words, or what are we doing with the Google Doc?
Yeah, it's like if I emphasize a particular theme that you
Yeah,
see listed on that sheet, then you make
gotcha.
note of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Alrighty.
so the questions are, what are you noticing about yourself as an educator regarding your own blind spots, and why is that important? So
Mm-hmm.
my answer to that question is, I'm noticing that I have a lot more than I already knew about. And it's important to me because my charge with my students is to accept them and affirm them as they are, so that we can go on some wonderful journey together. So the more I know about me and my blind spots and the resulting biases, the more helpful I am to them. So in digging into my own blind spots, I'm going to tell you a secret. I don't want you to tell anybody else. I'm black and I'm a male. And in recent times, recent headlines, I think everybody understands a little bit more the cost that comes with that. I've understood it for a long time, but I understand it better myself now, because within all of our races and cultures, there's a lot of diversity. I am not like most black guys that I know. Nothing like them. And I'll say I'm short. That's a key difference between me and most people that I know. And not only am I short, Marie, I'm small. Like I have very small hands, very short arms. So even people who are my height tend to think that they are bigger than me. So I've always had a challenge with big people. I wear glasses. Most people I know don't wear glasses. I'm not sure I have any challenges around that other than seeing, but it's a difference. It's a
Right.
clear difference. I used to have a lot of hair. I used to have an afro. Then I had wavy hair, and now it's all gone. And my dad told me, with the way I used to get my hair cut when I was younger, hey, you're gonna make your hair fall out faster cutting it like that. And I was like, oh really? And now I'm like, oh yeah, you were right. You were right. So I would say that all of the differences and a lot of the experiences I've had in the way people respond to and treat me have left me with a lot of memories. Because the other secret I'll tell you is I have a photographic memory like Sheldon on Big Bang Theory. So I identify with him because I know what that's like. You can't forget stuff even if you wanted to, because it's there. And it helped me a lot in school. It hurt me a lot in school because there were times I didn't really work because it's already there. I just give it back to you on the test, and that's all I got to do to make sure I'm moving along. But memories combined with anger from a lot of different unequal treatment in a lot of different situations for a lot of different reasons, not all of which because of my skin color. They leave you sad. They leave you very sad. And that sadness actually becomes both a blind spot, but then it's also what I call a freedom point, because when you recognize sadness and the causes of such, it makes you much more empathetic to everybody else. You can see sadness, especially in a child's eyes, you can see it. Adults are able to hide it a little better, mask it, if you will, but you can see it in a child's eyes, and you don't have to know what it is. You look at your own story and you say, man, I've got so many ways I have been put upon by people in my life. All you need to know is when you see that look, that's a look you want to respond to in brotherhood. You extend the right hand of fellowship to that child, because that's going to mean a whole lot more to them than you even think,
Right.
because you will be treating them probably differently than they are used to being treated. And they're going to appreciate that. Even if they are never able to say it to you, they'll appreciate it. So what is a blind spot for me? I read the Bible a lot, and I'm currently reading about the Apostle Paul and all of his works, and it helps me read about other people when I can connect my story to their story. So one thing I have learned about him is he's very transparent. And hey, I used to persecute and I mean beat up on these Christians that I'm now trying to draw to me. And you guys may see that as an inherent contradiction, and I'm gonna have to live with the rest of my life knowing wherever I go, and I'm going all over the world and I'm taking this gospel, wherever I go, somebody can raise their hand and say, you are a charlatan, a hypocrite, and a fraud, sir, because we know what you used to do to Christians. So I tell you myself, I tell you. And when I tell you, this is how I brag. I don't brag about who I am, I actually brag about who I am not. And that reminds me that who I am not is what is eventually taking me to who I'm going to be, because I remember I need both of my feet on the ground and I need to be stretching my hands towards a higher goal. And that higher goal for me is what helps me relate in a transparent way to other people, even though somebody's going to always be able to hate on my story. That's just what it is. And I would just have to tip my cap and say, you're not saying anything wrong, sir, but now listen to my heart, because what my heart says is I know who I used to be and I know who I am now and I know why I changed. And all I want you to do is give me a chance to be who I'm going to be and not hold me hostage to who I used to be.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my story. I hope I didn't take up too much time. Okay,
No,
yeah.
that's amazing. Thank you. Um, all right. So my story is, this is my 25th year as being a counselor. And we started out in Georgia, graduated from Georgia State. I did my internship and practicum in the city of Atlanta at John Hope Elementary School. So at the time, there was a part-time counselor there. So me and my partner were the counselors there. So started off there, went on to graduated, went to Brookview Elementary in East Point, and stayed there until we left because my husband got a football job in New York. So I'm originally from New York. Grew up there, went to college up there, and from a small school, not very diverse, but going to college in Buffalo, there's more diversity, but I grew up not knowing, like when I went to college, people started informing me of the things that they've encountered when they grew up. So I had a huge blind spot to that, because I'm like, I just treat people like people. Why are people treating you like this? And so that was a great eye opener. And I'm kind of all over the place because I'm just, I'm trying to figure out how to tell you like where I've been and the things that I've experienced and stuff like that. So in college, I think was the first time just trying to figure out what's going on with the rest of the world. And then coming down here to Georgia was a real eye opener, because people thought of me not just as a Northerner, but as a white woman, and, oh, you made that statement because of this. And I'm like, why would you think that? Why would you automatically think that, this is what I meant when it wasn't? I'm just, I'm going this way. And then they would share their experiences. So in that short amount of time, I found out a lot about what was going on in the 90s. So, and then we moved back to New York for a little bit, which in the North, it's just a lot of, it's a different feel than being in the South. It's just, people are more forgiving and more just, I don't know. I don't see like the turmoil up there that I see down here, if that makes sense. Or just the places I was. And then we went to Virginia in Virginia Beach. And again, I think we were fortunate to be at a school. I mean, we were at a school similar to Marietta, but a lot more free and reduced lunch. Probably 20% white, I would say. And it's just like that system had a lot of just poverty and trying to figure out whether it's white or black. And I think that's another thing that opened up my eyes to like, well, I want to save you all, but I don't need to save you. You know what I mean? Like, I hate that people live in poverty, but there's only so much that we can do for them. So that's kind of like my blind spot to, I want to save everybody, but I know that I can't. And I'm starting to realize that there's some things that just have to happen. So that the things that I try to put in place, like I get down on myself.
Take your time. Take your time.
Because I want so much for these kids that I encounter. And when they go down the wrong road, or I can't do something that can help them be successful, it just hurts. And no matter who they are, I don't know. Sometimes I lose sight of what they need because I'm trying to focus on me and what I need for them. And so it's hard to lose that and figure out, like, get away from my own things. Down here, I don't know. So we came back to Georgia. So we were in Virginia for 14 years and then we came back to Georgia. So this population has a lot of things going on. I don't know. Sometimes I get so caught up in these deadlines and things that administration wants us to do. And then it's like I'm just pushing the kids aside. And I hate it because it's like I want to spend time with them, but I know if I don't get this done, then Ball or Meat are going to be like, why didn't you get this done? What's going on? And it's just been really hard this year with the large caseload and working virtual and not seeing the kids. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I'm not doing what I'm meant to do. And I'm just like pushing papers, making sure they graduate, but I'm not really connecting with the kids. And like the kids are just asking, well, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And I just know that there's others out there that need a lot more. I'm sorry.
No.
So I don't know. This training it's helped, but it's also like a hindrance on me because I can't get to what I need to do. And I feel like I'm more behind and I feel like there's other things I can be doing to help these kids or know what they're going through, but I can't because I have all these tasks that we're asked to do because, hey, counselors can do this because they're not doing anything at all. And so it's been really frustrating. So I was just all over the place and I don't even know if I answered the question correctly.
Well, I heard exactly what you said. So my other secret that I'll share with you is I seem to do this to people. Hey, I do this to people, which is not a bad thing, though. It's not a bad thing. So what I will say is you were just very transparent with me. And see, I appreciate that in words I can't even express because, see, I've been at TLC since October 2019. I've lived in Marietta since 1994. And find it to be, even though I have chosen to live here, it is one of the most closed communities I have ever seen in my life. You would not believe how hard it is to even talk to someone within the hallowed walls of the school and the system. It is very closed, and it is so closed, it does not know how closed it is. So one of my charges now that I'm in, and the only reason I got in is because there was a craziness that happened at PLC that they needed somebody to walk into who wouldn't know anything about it. So they chose me. Isn't that ironic?
It is.
That you chose the right person for the absolute wrong reasons,
Right.
because I might not know what just went on here, but I know what's going on for the last 25 years. Yeah, I really do. But see, the people who are here now, I'm 50.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know how old any of the administrators are, but when I hear them talk, I hear young people talking. And I said, well, now you got to walk a fine line when your boss is a little young, because you can't say that. But you better not forget that. And you better make enough relationship with them to go and get them if you ever need to, and say, look, man, your experience is your experience. My experience is my experience. Our experiences are different. There may be things you've learned that I can learn from, and vice versa. And that's what I'm really trying to get to, is the vice versa part. Because the school that we helped start, we started it and we buried it, dug a hole in the ground and stuffed the school and the kids. We destroyed that school that we built. And the lessons learned there and the wisdom it grants you when you learn the lesson, somebody would benefit from hearing those stories if they open themselves to them. Now, I don't think anybody in the system sees me as anything other than a math teacher who's been at home for the last 6 years. And I said, well, you may let it sit like that. That may work out best for you. At PLC, there are more problems than I could even tell you, but I would still rather be there than be at the high school because of a lot of what you just said. And you just said it. I can see it from outside, but you just told me from inside. It's like, so I'll figure out how to summarize what you said in as few words as possible. But you just told me a very powerful story, so don't worry about wherever you were. I went everywhere that you went, and I heard what you said.
Thank you so much.
And I thank you. Thank you. And be encouraged, because, yeah, I have this effect on people. So take it. Take the encouragement.
I
Be
appreciate
encouraged.
it. Thank you so much.
If you release it, you'll be able to replace it with those things that are most important to you now. So,
Yes.
okay.
Right.
So we got
Guess we're
40
going back.
seconds. Yes. I will see you on the other side.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
It was good talk.
Good talk.
Thanks.